Hey guys, so I found this really cool feature, and I decided to implement animated Gifs that you can put on surfaces of parts. Now, obviously, the resolution is terrible here, but I think they're kind of neat. I think if you have them in like a smaller space, they can like serve a pretty good purpose. For example, here we have our RSVP animation here, as well as like a bunch of these particle effects here. So let me explain how this works and how this is going to be implemented. Credit where credit is due. I actually got this code from Odahama, who kind of explained the process of adding these, animated, surfaces onto these places. Now, this doesn't require anything complicated. It doesn't even use videos. It actually uses sprites. So as you can see in this image, this is like a sprite where it'll move through different section of this image to kind of create this like animated the GIF. And you put this as a texture and you sort of move it around, and that's how you kind of fake movement using this code. I based this code and created this one. And apparently the original person is Hungryboy. I'm not sure if that's Odahama, but I adjusted it so it plays in it plays locally. And you can like stop it and running. You can stop it and play it depending on whether or not the camera is close to it. And I'm going to explain the process as to how you can, well, first of all, get this sprite sheet and how to get this working in your convention place. First things you're going to do is you're going to choose a video, usually MP4 video in this case. You have this MP4 video and you're going to go to this website that will convert your MP4 video into a GIF video. A GIF file. Just drag it in, pull this in, drag it in here, and just wait until for it to upload. And then after it uploads, you can just download it. The next step is you're gonna go to this website, jackalhamstergithub.io. What you're gonna do is you're gonna select the GIF to load, and you're gonna select that GIF that you made. So in this situation, it's going to be this square logo animation easy GIF. You open this and give it time to process. And there we go. Save this image by clicking on it. Yep, it takes a while. Save this image. And that's how you get the sprite sheet. That's the easy part. Now, if you go to your place, you already have, put up like the sprite sheet on here and have a texture set to this sprite sheet. So you have to have a texture. And not to mention, this texture needs to have the sprite video tag. So in your convention, you want animate elements, make sure you have a texture that has a sprite video tag. All right, set the texture here. This is going to be, and this next step is going to be important. You need to count how many rows and columns there are. So let's do this. Let's count how many rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's 9. So this has nine rows and 8 columns. Now, this is where it's important. So how the code knows how many rows and columns there are is this code here. It's this attribute here. You need to make sure you have this attribute called sheet dimensions. And the X here is 8 and the Y is 9, right? So that, the rows are 9, rows are Y, the columns is X. And then you set the FPS to something like 30. And you can set the frame as long as it is smaller than the multiple of, let me just do math. 8 times 9. Oh, well, that is actually, that frame is way too big. So 8 times 9, that's the maximum of 72. So it should only have 72 frames, right? So the total maximum frames is gonna be the X and Y dimension of the sprite dimension, And then that's how you get the frame. You can actually make it shorter if you want it to end prematurely. Now let's say that you want to have an animation that is in a better quality, all right? So as you can see, like this is a large image, but there's so many frames that it kind of compresses everything. What if you wanted to, split the animation over multiple sprite sheets? That is possible by, if you look into here, this has a texture, but underneath it, it has a decal named 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are actually the particle effects. And you'll notice that these are actually animations with different particle effects. I'm just gonna duplicate this. Okay. Let me just drag all these in here. And you'll notice like, okay, this is overlapping, but yeah, these are, yeah, like this is one particle effect. This is another particle effect, and this is all done in sequence, right? And what this is it uses the, okay, so it goes into this, like if you have a texture and you have a sprite video, it'll check if there are decals underneath here, and it'll like kind of go through each of these things in sequence and just play them. And that's how you can make like multiple sequences, and that's how you can have like you retain a lot more quality, and also like make it like longer if you need to. Same principle. The important thing here is that inside of this texture, you have these attributes: the frames per second, the number of frames, and the sheet dimension. The sheet dimension is very important. You need to set this into attributes, otherwise the code will not know like how the spreadsheet is divided. Anyways, once you do this, you can have these animations. So hopefully this is easy enough, and you guys can get into and understand what's going on. You can get all the assets for the convention place in the RSVP convention booth build place that is going to be linked in the description. So have fun and get creative.